table Colaba, Mumbai is Gauri Devidayal and her husband Jay's tribute to the distinctive food culture of San Francisco. A restaurant known for its pure and fresh flavors and an ingredient-driven menu, this restaurant has been wowing the palate of foodies for 5 years now. Started in 2011 by the duo, Gauri herself is a qualified CA and actually made a foray into the food business because of her culinary enthusiasm. She is here with me today and is going to share secrets about her entrepreneurial journey and her success mantras. Hi Gauri.
Hi, Vinny.
This is a tough being an entrepreneur, Gauri.
It is, and I have to say, sort of 5 years or now almost sort of 7 years down the line, I feel like I have more of that sort of, entrepreneur sort of blood in me than I did 6-7 years ago. I think having had the hang of it, understanding sort of, understanding what it means to be an entrepreneur, I now when we're looking at sort of what our second or third project's going to be, I feel like I have more to contribute in that decision-making process because I understand sort of the business more.
Sure.
It's been an interesting ride for me. It's been like a huge growth for me personally, moving from like a completely risk-averse chartered accountant to a slightly more risk-taking person in the hospitality industry.
Absolutely,
now.
that sounds very interesting. Tell me, Gauri, were the initial years tough?
It's hard to deal with sort of criticism initially, but again on that front I feel like I've grown immensely where you understand that you can't necessarily please everybody and then mistakes happen,
That is a wise approach, I think.
Yeah, and so you have to learn to accept that and take it in your stride and wake up the next day and come back to work and keep doing what you're doing and do it better. So that's been a huge learning for me. I mean, I used to have sleepless nights, sort of pretty much the whole first year. And, now I've just learned to be a little more sort of thick-skinned and sort of
Cope with it.
Yeah.
But do you really think that entrepreneurship is something that can be learned, it can be taught, or is it something that somebody's born with?
I think you're kind of either bent one way or the other. So you sort of probably know if you're an entrepreneur by nature or not. So, yeah.
But in this business, what would you say is your expertise that you bring to the table? Of course, you obviously oversee everything, but what is that one distinct skill that you really bring to this?
So, I mean, I tend to look after sort of the day-to-day operations, but also obviously the finance aspects of it, because that's my sort of background, and that's a huge part of running a business, any business. So, understanding, the numbers is critical, and so I manage that, which sort of takes up a large part of my time. And then I also look after, we have 80 staff on our payroll, which is kind of like running a school. So it also takes up a sizable amount of my time, just, managing staff. I mean, a key part of this business is you're in the service industry at the end of the day. So even if your product's great, you need a great team to, be able to offer and like serve your guests, and it's as much about the service as it is about the product. So and then anything else that needs to be done,
absolutely. I'm sure firefighting and whatever.
Except cooking, I can't cook to save my life, for which we have a chef, a great chef. So
absolutely. Yeah. Tell me something. Do you believe that it's passion, hard work, knowledge, skills, or luck? What is it that really makes a person tick in this business?
It's obviously, I think, a combination of all those things. But without that passion, I think it's a combination of everything. So the passion is key, because it does take a lot out of you when you have to set up your own business from scratch. So you've got to feel, really strongly about it, not do it because someone else has told you to do it, or, you have to sort of wake up every morning and sort of, get to work and be happy to get to work and lead other people, who are working for you. So passion is really key. Knowledge is important, and you don't necessarily have to have all of it yourself. I mean, you're not, ever going to be a know-it-all. So you have to be open to relying on experts. But it's important when you have your own business to understand all aspects of it, even if you're not an expert in every aspect. Possibly luck, but I feel like I don't necessarily believe in luck in these things. I think that if you understand your product and you understand the market and sort of, you recognize sort of where your product fits into that market, you have to be really confident about whatever your offering is and believe in it. And I think that it comes across in then what you're doing, and people, will no doubt sort of, appreciate it. Yeah.
According to you, what are the three things that sort of lead to failure, or perhaps sort of, lead to entrepreneurs not succeeding?
So I mean, it's a couple of things that we talked about. So one thing is that you do have to be passionate about what you're doing, not do it, like I said, because you're copying someone else's very successful idea. So I think having an original product that fills a gap in the market is sort of what you need to be sort of looking out for. So that's one thing, and then I think hard work. That's not expecting things to happen by magic, but really just be willing to put in whatever it takes.
What are the tips that you would like to give to budding entrepreneurs in the food and beverage space who wanting to sort of come into this space? Is now a good time, and what should they watch out for?
I'm sure now is as good a time as any. Especially in this city, it's thriving. The business is thriving. I mean, I hear about new places opening every week, and there's a huge demand for good food in this city. So, there's definitely room for more. I think one big misnomer about the sort of restaurant industry is that it's very glamorous and it's very sort of exciting to have your own restaurant. I think that one big tip is that don't get swayed by that. I mean, that's probably like 2% of what is involved with running a restaurant. It's seriously hard work. I've never worked this hard in my life, and I luckily love every minute of it. But I think that you have to get into it for the right reasons. I can't cook to save my life, but I love eating. I sort of, I feel really sort of, I'm excited about eating all the time. You can probably tell. But, so I think that get into it for the right reasons is sort of my biggest tip to anyone who's looking to do it. And I don't think it's necessary to have any previous experience. I think you just have to get into it for the right reasons and be smart about whom you work with. And yeah, I mean, I think anything's possible.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so much, Gauri.
No problem.
That was Gauri Devidayal at the table sharing her success mantras. If you enjoy watching Mini's Food Fundas, do subscribe to our channel.